How do you fix a broken jack-o'-lantern? With a pumpkin patch.
Hey guys, Maria here, and I just love pumpkins with faces. I did find different ones at Halloween stores, but they seem to be either low quality or a bit pricey. So here's a way you can make them at home with just a few cheap materials. First of all, you need to make the shape of the pumpkin. Here I'm using the end of a Coke bottle, and I'll also be using paper mache balloons, which I'll show you in a minute. Once you've carefully cut off the end of the Coke bottle, you can cover the hole with masking tape. To shape the faces, I'll be using Das air dry clay and some water. You can use tape or a cup to keep your pumpkin from sliding around. Start shaping the facial features with clay. The trick to getting everything smooth and sticking together is to make sure the clay is wet, so keep dipping your fingers in the water. It's best to have an idea of what kind of face you want your pumpkin to have. There's so much inspiration on the internet. I will leave links below to the ones that inspired me as well as the supplies I used. I recommend using clay tools as they make things much easier. Keep the clay damp and play around with it until you're happy with it. It takes about 48 hours for the clay to fully dry, but once I'd finished the face, I let it dry overnight, just so the surface hardens. This just makes it easier to work on the back of the pumpkin without ruining the face. To make the other pumpkins, I wanted them all to be slightly different shapes. So I blew up some balloons to different sizes, and for those balloons that still weren't the right shape, I added some foil too. I used some tape to secure it to the balloon. Next, I paper mache'd them with some water, and I mixed it with flour and glue until it made a thick paste. You want to paper mache the balloons at least 4 layers, so it's hard enough not to bend once you push the clay into them. Here are the paper mache balloons once they've all dried. They are now ready to have clay put on them. Once you've finished sculpting all your pumpkins, they're ready to be painted. If you do have any bumps, you can sand it with some fine grit sandpaper, and if you have any cracks, just fill it with some fresh, wet clay. Using acrylic paint, I painted all the pumpkins orange, some with a little bit more yellow in them and some with a little bit more red. To add more depth, I highlighted with a lighter shade. If you want, you can protect it with a sealant. I'm using matte Mod Podge and giving the eyes a little gloss with some clear nail varnish. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Halloween videos.